the sick and the low. I'm reaching out to the fortunate who can build them homes.
I'm reaching out to the one who seems to have lost their way. And I'm calling on all the ones who can show them a brighter day.
I believe if you believe that we can achieve anything.
So lift your voice and give it everything. Now let your heart sing.
Africa to America, everywhere on this place of love. Without faith and a little hope, I believe that we can heal the globe. It's time to open our eyes and see that all we need is you and me. Unity is like harmony, so let me see. Stretch your hands across the world, hands across the world, hands across the world. Stretch your hands across the world, hands across the world, hands across the world.
Hello, good evening. You're very welcome to the show, and you're tuned in to the African Scene, coming to you on 103.2 Dublin City FM. My name is Damilola Oduwole. You're very welcome to the show. And do remember as well that you can be a part of the show tonight by sending in your text, comments, or questions to 089 956 2237. 089 956 2237. And on the show tonight, I'll be speaking with the founder and global president of True Nigerian Worldwide Organization in the person of Emmanuel Aluede. All right, so do not go anywhere. And after this break, I'll be speaking with my guest.
It's Maca E on the beat.
Yeah. I don't go lie. You they make my temperature they rise. You are my inene girl. Inene. You are my inene girl. My inene girl. I don't go lie. You they make my temperature they rise. You are my inene girl. Inene. You are my inene girl. My inene girl. Aye. Now you where I go send though, because now you where this scatter my brain though. Yeah. I choose you for real low. Me I go hug you, love you for real low. Yeah, my sweetie, my honey. If you give me a minute, I will tell you how I'm feeling. Make you not give me story, baby I am too lonely. I don't now, mommy I don't go lie. You they make my temperature they rise. Hey, you are my inene girl. Inene, you are my inene girl. My inene girl. I don't go lie. You they make my temperature they rise. Hey, you are my inene girl. Inene, you are my inene girl. My inene girl. I'm so naughty. I'm so naughty. Baby, please can you call me? I'm so naughty. I'm so naughty. Baby, please can you call me? I want to tell you something. I want to let you know. I get something from my mind, but now I want to let you know. If I'm with you, no letting go. If I'm with you, no fighting. If I dare with you, my friends see you, I they promise you no shouting. I do bad oh, and you are sexy. There is no time oh, baby let's get naughty. Me I no send oh, waiting and tell me. I told you now, what me feel? I don't go lie. You they make my temperature they rise. Hey, you are my inene girl. Inene, you are my inene girl. My inene girl. I don't go lie. You they make my temperature they rise. Hey, you are my inene girl. Inene, you are my inene girl. My inene girl. I'm so naughty.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still the African Scene coming to your 103.2 Dublin City FM. And you can be a part of the show as well. You can send in your text, messages, and questions to 089 956 2237. 089-956-2237. I've been joined on the line by Emmanuel Aloede. Hello, good evening, Emmanuel.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you very much. And yourself?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Now, just before we go into the details about True Nigerian Worldwide Organization, tell us your background. Who is Emmanuel Aloede?
Emmanuel Aloede, first and foremost, is a Nigerian citizen. I think I need to emphasize that.
Okay.
For simple fact that Nigerians are very ethical and very tribal. I see myself as a Nigerian, period. I am from a family of 5. I live in the United Kingdom, and I'm a public sector financial consultant in the UK.
Okay. Brilliant stuff. Now, tell us, what is True Nigerian Worldwide Organization? Is it a group? Is it a movement? Is it an NGO? What exactly is it?
I'll class it, according to the statutory laws in the United Kingdom, is a company limited by guarantee for charitable purpose, which is equivalent to an NGO in Nigeria.
Okay. All right, that's wonderful. Now, tell us, why did you come about creating something like True Nigerian Worldwide Organization?
The reason why this organization was created is, I would just simply explain the objective. It was created for the development, advancement, promotion of the common public interest in terms of the well-being and the general welfare of the people and country Nigeria, for the general public benefit of Nigeria.
Okay, that's good. Now, what is your understanding of Nigerians' problems that led to you creating the group? What, in your own opinion, what would you outline as the problems that the nation is facing?
That's a very good question. I think it's the issues of Nigeria that prompted the creation of this organization first and foremost. A lot of us look at the issues we are facing on a daily basis, on a continual basis in Nigeria from the surface perspective. We tend to think it's all about political leadership, economic. But in my view, I believe that there's a deep-rooted causes to our problem. The problems are some element of our culture, and a great deal to our educational setup back home in Nigeria.
All right. I want you to explain when you said there is some are due to the element of our culture. What do you mean by that?
The cultural perspective is based on the simple fact that most Nigerian kids are raised without the right of freedom of expression. And when a child is born, a child is not allowed to ask the what, why, how, when questions from birth, the moment they can say dada and mama. And it's a parental thing and it's a cultural thing, because once a child asks an elderly person the what and why questions, you're seen to be rude or not one that is properly brought up.
Okay.
And in so doing, parents are depriving their children the ability to acquire knowledge and apply God-given wisdom to this knowledge to make the right or wrong decisions in life. And once a child can apply knowledge with wisdom, they become conscious. And their inability to do that creates a state of mind of unconsciousness. And that's the reason why you see a lot of things that's happening in Nigeria today. You ask yourself, do these people really have conscience? And the reason why they lack conscience is because they never ask themselves questions in relation to the actions they take or the decisions they make. A good example is, if you look at the political setup in Nigeria, we know corruption is a very, very bad disease in Nigeria today.
Okay.
Why would a politician want to empty the treasury? You know, if that politician can ask himself or herself the what, why, how questions, I'm sure they will realize that it's not right, whether morally or anyhow, to steal from public treasury.
Okay. Now, I'm still going to ask you a question based on the same point. When children, you did mention that when children get to start asking about the what, why, how questions, they are seen to be rude. But would you not say that that's one of the reasons why we are Nigerians, and in actual sense of it, holding steadfast to our culture compared to, say, children parts of the world, say Europe? They're seen to lack morals in that regard.
No, there's a great deal between morals. As far as I'm concerned, the reason why culturally it's like that is because parents seem to see it as a way of showing respect. In my opinion, I don't think respect should be given on a platter of gold. I think respect should be aimed. And naturally, as a parent, respect is aimed. So you don't have to justify in the respect by trying to suppress the fundamental right of your children to ask the what and why question by freely expressing themselves.
Okay, that's good. Now, how are the objectives of True Nigerian World Organization? How are they going to address the problems that has been identified?
All right, I did say something about the cultural element, and I think it's important to as well address the educational approach as well. When that child leaves the family setting, which is where the cultural elements tend to have a lot of influence on them, the first place they tend to go to is an educational setting, be it nursery, primary, or secondary school. It's the same approach in these educational institutions that the child has to face, because the teachers, the lecturers, or the people who are supposed to educate them actually don't educate them. They indoctrinate them by pushing whatever knowledge they deem right into them. So again, the child is deprived the opportunity to be able to self-express themselves. So in Nigeria today, if you look at the social evils in our society, it's because people can't question themselves. Because they can't question themselves, they can't question what people tell them to do. Let's go back to the Boko Haram situation.
Okay.
We still hear a lot of Nigerians are involved in this mayhem that's going on. There's no normal thinking person who has full consciousness who would think is right, either religiously, politically, anyhow, to kill a fellow human being. Because they're not asking themselves this question. So what True Nigerian is looking to do is to help address this cultural side of things, as well as, adapt or influence government approach to our educational setup. Okay. And by so doing, we're looking to give people the economic power from a very early age, because parents have a lot of economic power, so they exercise that control over their kids way too long into their human development. I know a few Nigerians who are 20-something, 30-something, are still living in their parents' home. I have friends who can't get married to their chosen loved ones because their parents would not accept it. And that's the kind of influence we talk about. And that influence is brought about because of the economic power parents tend to have over their kids. So what we're intending to do is to create a society where everyone can believe they can contribute to the advancement and development of their community, irrespective of whether they are educated or not. And the way we're going to approach this is by giving people training so that they can get economic and welfare, their economic needs and their welfare requirements can be met once they can be economically empowered.
Okay.
And from those training as well, we hope to create job opportunities for them to, bring their training to bear.
All right. I have a text message here from someone called Stanley, and he's asking, how do you hope True Nigerian will benefit Nigerians in the diaspora? Yeah.
Good question. For those of us who are migrants, for whatever reason, I personally would see myself as a migrant in the United Kingdom because Nigeria would always be my home. We've never had an opportunity to see a government that will look after us once we take or make that decision to migrate away from home. So True Nigerian is the organization that would help cater for our needs while we're away. If you look at the Nigerians in diaspora, you would find the Yoruba Association, you will find the Edo Association, you will find that. But there's not been one single association that unites us as a people. And we're hoping True Nigerian will be the platform to do that.
That's wonderful. Okay. Now, there's another question here from Mary. And she's asking, how do you intend to create a change while you're based outside the shores of the country yourself?
Right. That's a good question, Mary. Apparently, being based outside the shores of the country is not a prerequisite to be able to exercise change.
Okay.
Change comes in different forms and different ways. And I would say, first and foremost, I'm not intending to stay in the United Kingdom permanently. But what the United Kingdom has given me in the last almost 2 decades of working in public sector is to understand, is to get the competences, to get the skills, to get the know-how and experience to be able to give back to the Nigerian society. And it's that skills, experience, and knowledge that I'm going to bring back in delivering some of the programs True Nigeria hopes to deliver.
All right, okay. Stay on the line there, Emmanuel. We'll be going on another break, and right after that, we'll continue this discussion.
Thank you.
Go!
Couple of drinks in me, feeling a little tipsy, turning on my sexy. I know you can't wait to touch me, but baby don't do nothing. I just want you to watch me. Give you a show while my hips real slow. Boy, I bet I know how to screw your mind till it blows. Give me hot Joe. Just don't leave without my heart. No way, no way, no way, no way, no way, no way. Don't leave without my heart. No way, no way, no way, no. Baby, 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 give me some more. Grab your keys, I wanna finish what we started on the floor. Started on the floor. Started on the floor. Started on the floor. Started on the floor.
Freaky little flex, go a little low while you go sleep relax. Baby, put the get to it down like me, no be child's play. I gonna make you sweat. Oh, yeah, drop it down low. And if you want to back it up, you back it up slow. Make my mind blow, let them know. Say make them know, try come close. Cause this not private show. Yeah. And if you wanna let loose, let loose. Even if you have to take off your shoes, make you no send nobody. Cause now you got your body. Baby, oh, yeah, better see go. Better see go. Oh, yeah, better see go. If you really want my heart, prove to me that you want it. No, this do they make my soul. I know, yeah. If you really want my heart, prove to me that you want it. Oh, yeah, show me what you gonna do with it. And do with it. All the girls, them they beg for it. Step on the floor. Step on the floor. Step on the floor. Step on the floor.
I just wanna rip this dress so that you can see the rest. Got my body screaming, yes. Yeah, give you a show. Wind my hips real slow. Boy, I bet I know how to screw your mind till it blows.
Not just OK.com.
Just don't leave without my heart. No way, no way, no way, no way, no way, no way. Don't leave without my heart. No way, no way, no way, no. Baby, 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 give me some more. Grab your keys, I wanna go. Don't leave without my heart. No way, no way, no way, no way, no way, no way. Don't leave without my heart. No way, no way, no way, no. Baby, 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 give me some more. Grab your keys, I wanna finish what we started on the floor. Started on the floor. Started on the floor. Started on the floor. Started on the floor.
All right, Jules, welcome back. It's still the African Scene on 103.2 Dublin City FM. Do not forget you can text in your comments, your questions to 089 956 2237. 089 956 2237. There's another question here. It reads, will this not be another avenue to lead people on? Use them for your own selfish interest. Emmanuel, do you want to answer that?
Apparently, whoever asked that question is asking a good question, and I don't blame them for having an understanding that way. I've been living in the UK for the last 18 years, and I've been going back to Nigeria quite often. If people know my background as to where I come from, they probably would not. They would say the reason why I want to do this. I was born with a wooden spoon, and if there's anything worse than a wooden spoon, then obviously I can use it to describe my own background. And I was born in the ghetto of Nigeria. And I mean, when I mean ghetto, it's not what we have today. It was way back in the 70s. So for me to give back and to get people who believe in this vision to give back is not wanting to use it for selfish interest. I think I'm well contented in the UK to want to sit back and do nothing. But we all talk about change, and this is my own way with others to try and affect change in a positive way.
Okay. Talking about effecting change, the process of creating this change, how possible does it seem, considering the fact that things still happen, on a day-to-day basis? Just last week, there was the kidnapping of 100 schoolgirls, the bombings happening around the nation. Does it seem possible?
I don't believe it. Impossible for me is too late or too long, because impossible could not exist if there was no possibility. And that's the mindset. I'm a very optimistic person by nature, and I want to keep it that way. I believe change would come, no matter how long it takes. There's no condition that's permanent. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that before. And we just have to keep believing and have faith in ourselves. And if you have faith as an individual, a lot of things can happen.
Okay. Now, let's move on to the projects and the programs that True Nigeria Worldwide Organization has in place. Practically speaking, what programs and projects are you looking to implement to help Nigerians back home?
Nigerians back home, for us, the most important thing is youth empowerment. And our programs is split into two.
Okay.
The first one is the first strand, which is the social economic program. And the social economic program, like I said earlier on, is about providing training and creating jobs. And that is the primary stuff for us. And for us to do that, we're going to be working with a lot of other NGOs or government bodies that share the same objective as we have.
Okay.
And the way we're going to look at doing this is to work with kids who are coming out of secondary school as quickly as possible, especially those kids who are not making the grades to go into university so they don't become restive.
Okay. And then the second aspect of it?
The second aspect, as far as we believe, as far as the trustees of the organization believe, there's also a very important need to address the mindset of the Nigerian people. And the best way to address the mindset of the Nigerian people is through leadership. I think Nigeria has not been blessed with good enough leaders since 1960. I'm not saying the leaders who helped get independence were bad, but I think they did the best they could do at that time. But if you look at what they did then and what where the country is today, you probably question their best, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So the second strand of our program would be on political leadership. And our program on political leadership is to find Nigerian youths who have the charisma, who have the essential leadership skills that would help to advance Nigeria as a nation, bring them together and help them with opportunities to advance those skills and those charisma for the greater good of all.
Okay. Now, talking about Nigerians in the diaspora, what programs and projects are you looking to implement for them?
For the Nigerians in diaspora, we're very, very peculiar about our cultural heritage. That is very, very important for us. In as much as I believe there's still an element of our culture that's not right. I don't think everything about our culture is bad. And our traditional cultural heritage needs to be preserved. And one of the things we're going to do is to work on projects and programs to help preserve that. I'm quite happy with my Igbo brothers with what they're doing. I'll use this opportunity to talk about the Igbo conference that's coming up in London in the next few days.
Okay.
And you don't have to be an Igbo man to attend it. I personally will be attending, not because I'm Igbo, but because I want to learn from my brothers what their rich heritage is about as well.
Okay.
Because I believe understanding each other's culture and tradition is one way to promote our unity and appreciating each other's culture.
Okay.
Then the other part of our programs for the Nigerians in diaspora is our children.
Right.
And if you look, you can see the connection between the culture and our children. Like you said earlier on in the program, there is a need for us not to lose our heritage because of the influence of the environment we found ourselves. A lot of Nigerian kids are getting involved in crime,
Yeah.
and it's no fault of the parents, but we will try and help in terms of reducing youth crime.
Okay.
And we have our ideas on how we're going to go about that, and we're looking to work with as many organizations as possible
All right.
to deliver these programs.
Okay. Now, because we're gradually running out of time, but I have to ask you, what's the next stage for True Nigerian?
Right. The next stage, we've just registered a few months ago as a legal entity. We are currently in the final stages of completing the registration in Nigeria.
All right.
And hopefully in the next few days, I'll publicize that registration once it's completed as a legal entity as well.
Right.
I like doing things by the book, and that's where my public sector experience comes in very handy. And for Nigerians in diaspora in the United Kingdom and Ireland, we have an opportunity for a Nigerian who resides in Ireland to join our board of trustees. So in the coming weeks, I will be doing a roadshow in Dublin, to be precise,
All right.
to share in details the vision, the objective, and our program to Nigerians there in Ireland as a whole. And will also give an opportunity for somebody to be elected to join our board of trustees.
Okay. Is there a fixed date for this roadshow? Very quickly.
Not yet. It's
Not
still
yet.
work in progress.
Okay.
We're still working on a suitable date that'll
Okay.
be visible for everyone.
All right.
But we're quite happy to communicate that information through yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, how can people get in contact with yourself if they want to know more about True Nigerian worldwide organization, and if they, wish to be of assistance?
We're currently working on our internet page, which is going to be our corporate page. And until then, you can reach me through my Facebook page called True Nigerian.
All
You can
right.
follow me on Twitter called True Nigerian as well. And I'm more than happy to take any call from anyone via Skype. So
All
you
right.
can reach me by Skype again, called True Nigerian.
Okay.
So as the face of the organization for now, I make myself readily available to my fellow brothers and sisters.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for joining me on the show. It's been absolutely wonderful talking to you, and all the best in the coming weeks, and hopefully we'll see you in Dublin very soon.
Thank you very much for having me on your show.
You're very welcome.
God bless you too.
Thank you. All right, people, that's all for tonight. It's been Emmanuel Aluede, the founder of True Nigerian Worldwide Organization. My name remains Damilola Oduwole. Thanks to Hazelek, my studio engineer for tonight. And until next week, keep safe. Good night.